Hi guys, welcome back. So today we are going to be going over Magic Kingdom Park, which is what you're seeing on the map right now. So we're going to be going over each area of the park, kind of giving a general overview, and then talking a bit about what my favorite portions of that park section are. So the first part we're going to look at is Main Street USA. So Main Street USA is how you come into the park. So if you look right here, you've got the entrance plaza area. This is where you'll go through security, have your tickets checked and all of that kind of stuff. And then you enter under the railroad, which is right here. So then you're going to come through and then you're going to be on Main Street USA. Few things to note right here. Right over here in the Town Square Theater is where you can meet Mickey and Tinkerbell. There's Tony's Town Square Restaurant, which is themed fairly lightly on Lady and the Tramp. You've got the Main Street Confectionery right here, which is where you can buy fudge, candies, other treats like that. And then on the left, you have the Emporium. Now the Emporium stretches all the way to Casey's Corner. It is connected to Casey's Corner. And this is where you're going to get all of your main souvenirs. They're going to have a wide range of Disney stuff and things specific to Magic Kingdom. It's a great place to walk through if a parade's going on because there's not going to be as many people in here. The other important one to know of is Main Street Bakery right here. This is a Starbucks location. So if you need that coffee fix in the morning, they've also got bakery items there. So then we're going to come up on the hub, and I'm going to scroll out a little bit and zoom out. You've got Crystal Palace right here. This is also where you can find the help center if you need a Band-Aid. If you're a young mother and you need to nurse, they've got a comfortable area for you to do that, as well as areas to take care of kids and really recharge. So that's a nice thing to know that that's right here. So moving into Adventureland, so the theming is kind of Caribbean and Mexican. You know, you get that general feel from it. So you've got a couple of rides to note. You've got the Swiss Family Treehouse, which is a fun thing to walk around and everything. You've got the Magic Carpets of Aladdin. Now this is a Dumbo style ride where you go around in a circle and you can go up and down. It's a great ride for kids. It can get to a long wait, which isn't necessarily worth it because it is such a small, short ride. So you've got the Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room, which is a very interesting attraction. It's a show with talking animatronic birds and everything. And some people love it, some people hate it. I'm closer to the hating it camp. It's not my favorite thing. Right over here, we have one of my favorite areas in the whole park, which is Aloha Island, because it sells Dole Whip. Dole Whip is a pineapple soft serve, kind of like ice cream, but there is no milk in it. It's one of my favorite Disney treats. I always get a good couple Dole Whips on trips, and they've actually recently, in the last few years, come out with a new treat, which is a pineapple upside down cake with Dole Whip on it. I had it on my honeymoon, and it was wonderful. So next, we're going to look at the Jungle Cruise, which is right here, nice and conveniently located near the Tiki Room. I love the Jungle Cruise. It's punny, it's silly. You go on a boat and you go through all of these different areas, and you know, it's a very fun, silly ride. And so it is one of my favorites. So I always go on it at least once a trip. It is one that I highly recommend you see. One of the absolute classics over here is Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean inspired the movie franchise from Disney, and it is a huge hit. This is a wonderful attraction. It's one of the things that many people credit with being with being their inspiration to become a Disney Imagineer. Tends to be either Pirates or Haunted Mansion. So it's definitely something you should see. It's definitely something you should make sure you ride when you come to the park. It's one of those classic attractions that everybody loves. So now we're going to be going up and kind of out of the Adventureland section into Frontierland. So we're going to start over in this section. We've got Splash Mountain, you know, an iconic attraction. It's not my favorite. I'm not a big one for huge dips, but it is one of my husband's favorites, and it is a very popular attraction, especially in the warmer months because it offers a chance to cool down. Big Thunder Mountain right over here is actually my favorite ride at Disney's Magic Kingdom. It is fun, it's really enjoyable. Yeah, I'm not a huge thrill ride person, but this is thrilling enough that I really enjoy it, but it's not too thrilling where I get scared. You actually want to, if you can, be in the back of the train instead of the front. The front is going to be a more calm ride, and the back is going to be a bit more thrilling. So this is Big Thunder Mountain. It is kind of up at the edge of the park, so that's good to know, but it is a really wonderful ride. Now right here we have Tom Sawyer's Island. This is kind of an explore area. You know, you lead it yourself, you just walk around and explore the area. You do have to take a little boat to get over to it. It's nothing that we've found the time to do on our trips, so it's not something I can give a ton of recommendations about, but it is a nice thing to do if you've got kids and they need to burn off some energy. They can go over here and do that. So then we've got things like Country Bear Jamboree over here. So this is the edge of Frontierland, and then you're going to get into Liberty Square, which is a smaller section of the park. It has an entrance from the hub right here. And so Liberty Square is going to have a few restaurants, including Columbia Harbor House, which is right over here. This is a really great place. They've got seafood. It's one of my favorites to go to. You've got the Hall of Presidents. And then you've got things like Sleeping Hollow Refreshment, which has these really fun waffle sandwiches that they offer both for breakfast and then lunch and dinner. The big draw for Liberty Square is its one ride, which is the Haunted Mansion. This is the other one that people often attribute when they say that, you know, for what ride inspired them to be an Imagineer. It's themed after a haunted house, but it's kind of a fun, silly look at it. I'm not a big one for, you know, scary movies or haunted houses, and I love Haunted Mansion. It's a really fun ride. You should absolutely do it. Make sure you go early so that the lines aren't too long, or get a fast pass for it for later in the day. It is a really wonderful ride. I can't recommend it enough. I actually, of the two, I prefer Haunted Mansion over Pirates of the Caribbean. Next you have It's a Small World, which I'm sure everybody knows. It's the classic boat ride with the very catchy song. Across from that you have Peter Pan's Flight. This is a really wonderful ride. It is, however, a very popular ride. And lines for this ride can get up to an hour long. So this is something I recommend you do earlier in the day. You know, especially right at rope drop, right as the park is opening. This is a good thing to do right away because the line will get extremely long as the day goes on. Next you have Mickey's PhilharMagic. This is actually one of my favorite attractions right after Big Thunder Mountain. It's a 3D show. I think every time I've gone, I've seen it at least 2 or 3 times that I've been in Magic Kingdom. It showcases Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King. It's a really fun, sweet show. It's a great way to get out of either the heat or the rain. So it's something I definitely recommend. You've got Prince Charming's Carousel, which is just a normal carousel. You've got Princess Fairy Tale Hall. This is the place to meet different Disney princesses. And so then we are going to look right over here. This is the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. It's a pretty popular ride. It can get a longer wait longer in the day. And it's obviously themed to Winnie and the Pooh. So moving up, we're going to hit Enchanted Tales with Belle. This is a story overview of Beauty and the Beast, and then you get to meet Belle. You only get to meet Belle if you take part in the show. So that is important to know, is that not everybody gets to meet Belle, but it is a really cute experience. If you've got kids who love it, I'd absolutely recommend it. They cast all of the characters except for Belle. And then at the end, they ask if there's anybody who wanted to be a character who didn't get to be a character. And then they will hand those people extra parts, and you don't really do anything during the show, but then you do get to meet Belle at the end. Next to Enchanted Tales with Belle is Be Our Guest. This is a largely popular, very, very popular restaurant. It serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast and lunch are quick service, which means you are not waited on. You don't have somebody coming up, taking your order, bringing your food. And then it is full service for dinner. And this is the only restaurant in the entirety of Walt Disney World where a quick service takes reservations for breakfast and lunch. So you absolutely need a reservation to go to Be Our Guest. And reservations fill up very quickly. If you're trying to get in, you want to do it immediately, as soon as you can, which is at the 180-day window from when you arrive at the resort. So this is one that you need to do right away. It's very popular, and it can be difficult to get a reservation for any meal. My personal recommendation is to get lunch there. I think it's the best value. You get to enjoy the castle. You get to sit where you want. I prefer the food for lunch, so that's my recommendation. Next, we have kind of a little Beauty and the Beast themed shopping area. So you've got a Beauty and the Beast gift shop and Gaston's Tavern, which serves snacks only. And then next to that, you have Little Mermaid, Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid, which is another dark ride going over the story of Little Mermaid. It's a very fun ride. It's a great one to go to. And then next to that, you've got Ariel's Grotto. Ariel's Grotto is a meet and greet with Ariel. So then going over, the last area in the main section of Fantasyland is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which is this whole area right here. This is the big ticket right now. This is the most popular ride at Magic Kingdom. It can have waits up to 2 or 3 hours, and so this is absolutely something you want to fast pass, which we'll go over in another video. But this is a top contender. You really want to be able to get a fast pass for this, because otherwise you can be waiting in a very long ride. Over here you've got Mad Tea Party, which is a teacup soft saucer swirling ride. And then we're going to go over to this area right here, which is kind of a circus area. So you've got Dumbo over here, which, like the carpets, is a spinner kind of attraction that you're in an elephant and you go up and down. You've got a little ride over here called the Barnstormer. It's great if you've got a little kid, otherwise I don't recommend spending time there. You've got a big gift shop back here called Big Top Souvenirs. And then back here, you've got a meet and greet with Minnie, Daisy, Goofy, and Donald. Daisy and Minnie are together, and Donald and Goofy are together. So if you want to get a picture with Minnie and Goofy, you're going to have to wait in 2 rides. They are in kind of circus attire, and it's a great meet and greet, but just so you know, they're not in their quote-unquote normal clothes. So that's back here. And then the last main area is Tomorrowland. So right over here is the Tomorrowland Speedway, which is kind of a race car kind of attraction. You go about 5 miles an hour, so it's not really racing, but it does give that feel. Going down, you've got the main section. You've got Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe, which is a restaurant. You've got Stitch's Great Escape, which at this point is closed. And sometimes it's a meet and greet for Stitch, sometimes it isn't. But that is where that is. There is rumors that this is going to become a Wreck-It Ralph ride at some point, which would be really cool. Over here we've got Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, which is kind of a comedy show. It's a really fun one to do. I highly recommend it. So that's over here. Buzz Lightyear Ranger Space Spin is right over here. This one's very popular. You go on a dark ride sort of track, and then you've got a gun and you're shooting at different things to get points. So it's kind of an arcade game meets a dark ride. It's very fun. I do recommend it if you have the time. This is one you may want to do earlier in the day as well. Now in this main area over here, you have 2 rides. You have Astra Orbiters, which is up here, which is another Dumbo style ride, like Dumbo or the Magic Carpets, and this time you're in a rocket. You also have the People Mover, which is this track you can see right here. Now this is a slow moving track with an audio that talks about different areas of Tomorrowland. It's a nice thing to do if you've got some free time, if you're looking to just sit and relax, you're tired, you need a break. That's a great place to go do that and still be doing something and keeping the kids entertained. And then you've got the Walt Disney Carousel of Progress, which is a show. You sit in a theater style seat and then you move in a circle and go through a show talking about the past, present, and future of technology and modern and everyday America. And then finally, we have Space Mountain. This is a big thrill ride. You're in the dark. It's very popular. I'm not a fan of it because I don't like the fact that you're in the dark. I don't like not being able to see where I'm going. So it's not my favorite ride, but it is a very popular one. Now, the last thing to know is that right now there is major construction going on, and right in this area, we are going to be getting a Tron ride. That is from Shanghai Disneyland, and it's being brought over with the goal being for it to be open by the 50th anniversary, so in 2021. So that is the overview of Magic Kingdom Park. They do have a daytime parade called the Festival of Fantasy Parade and a nighttime fireworks show called Happily Ever After. But those really deserve their own videos, so we're going to go into those at a separate time. So I wanted to thank you all so much for joining me today as I go over the park. As always, if there's anything I didn't go over that you have a question about, please leave a comment down below. I'm happy to answer those. So thank you everybody so much for liking and commenting and subscribing. I really do appreciate that. And I'm wishing you all a magical day, and I will see you soon. Thanks. Bye.